after Adam's talk, I'm going to do my whole presentation fast jogging on the spot because I'm as smart as I go. This is a deliberately provocative title, but essentially what we've been working with is how to transform the healthcare system. So if you think about healthcare and people working in it, what you've essentially got is lots and lots of very smart people all doing their own thing in silos. And what's interesting is that often it's like herding cats. You get a much more interesting effect if you get them all aligned. The analogy that I use is if you had a bunch of iron filings and you threw it on the table, they go different directions. You get a magnet, you wave it across the top, they line up. So the effect is much more powerful. So the question is, how do you do that? So what we did in New Zealand, we did this thing called Showcase. And Showcase was a cross between a corporate roadshow, a vision document brought to life, and an interactive museum. And what we did, we took groups of 10 people through this exhibit through a disused warehouse that we converted. And each group of 10 took about 2 hours to go through. When they came in, they didn't actually know what they were doing, and they came in on a bit of a surprise factor. We did things like, first of all, we said to them, change is possible. And it's possible to change whole healthcare systems. This is very important because people in healthcare have a lot of inertia in the system and they think it's not possible to change. So we gave them 5 case studies straight up of systems that had changed, people like VHA, Kaiser, NHS in the UK. Doing that down scenarios, we said, actually if you could change the system, what would it look like from a patient point of view? Because the patient is the key in all of healthcare. Mapped it out for 2011, 2014, 2017, and we brought it to life. We said what would it look like in 2020. So we actually mocked up a care situation, a respiratory nurse's office, there it is there. People sat and observed a mock conversation between a real patient and a real nurse to understand how healthcare might be dispensed in 2020. One of the most important things we did though was we actually showcased examples of individuals who had made successful large-scale change. This is really important because people think they can't make change in the system. We mocked up a keyhole surgery theatre there. There's a clinician talking on a screen, and he talked around how his single change made a massive difference in the system. At the end of Showcase, we said to them, let us know what you thought. So we had a free-form sort of session with post-it notes and pens. We were really curious to find out what the reaction was like. And when you have a look at these post-it notes close up, you see some really interesting results. So overwhelmingly, about 90% of the reaction was this. The thing I like is sort of on the top there, one that says hopeful change is possible, and in the middle, finally a journey want to take and the map seems clearer. So what was also interesting about this is that the only way to get to Showcase was if someone asked you along, right? There was no CEO email, no media coverage. The whole mechanism to get to Showcase was word of mouth. And this is really important because in looking at change in health, we need to be as bottom up. It's all about empowering people at the front line. So we started off with a group of 80 people, and we said to them, what we want you to do is to invite 10 people each along. So a measure of success was having 400 people through, 50% success rate. Word of mouth went a little bit crazy. In the end, we got 2,000 people through, and we had to run it for 6 weeks. To put that in context, there are only 16,000 people working in this health system. So if you believe in the Gladwell sort of theory of tipping points, we blew that right through very, very quickly. But it wasn't quite enough because people leave really excited and fired up. They don't understand how to make change happen. So we started up a night school for change. And we taught people theories of change. We taught them how to tell stories, how to get sponsorship, how to get buy-in. It was called Participate. And that's really important for people to understand how change happens. That wasn't enough as well because night school takes a little bit of time, but what we also found was the reaction after Showcase was so interesting and so powerful that a lot of people signed up from those 2,000. So we had 1,000 people say straight away, we want to learn how to make change happen, teach us. But you've got to try and scale this, right? Because night schools take time, some people per session, it takes a long time. So we started playing around with idea management software. So essentially this is a screenshot from the system we call Generate, and it means that anybody in the system can post an idea, anybody else can comment on it, they can form virtual teams. Good ideas come to the top, bad ideas never see light of day. You can see at the bottom some interesting stats here. So 1,100 views on this idea alone. People can post on it, build on it, and you basically cherry pick off the top ideas. So what we're trying to do is to create empowerment and transparency to make change from the bottom up, not from the top down. I'm talking more about this tomorrow at 11 if you want to learn more. Thank you very much.